Africa, a continent of extremes. It's home to the longest river on Earth and some of the deepest lakes ever measured, rainforests that hum with ancient life, pyramids that predate history books, and more languages than anywhere else on the planet. From the glaciers clinging to mountaintops near the equator, to the molten lava bubbles just miles away in the Danakil Depression, some African landscapes are so surreal they don't seem of this world. So stick around, because in this video we'll be exploring 25 mind-blowing facts about Africa's geography, and by the end of the video you'll never see the continent the same way again. And number 1. The idea of glaciers in Africa sounds almost like a fantasy, but it's completely real. As far back as 15,000 years ago, during the last glacial maximum, vast sheets of ice crowned the highlands of East Africa. Today, only a few glacial remnants remain: Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, Mount Kenya in Kenya, and the legendary Rwenzori Mountains straddling the border between Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, once called the Mountains of the Moon. Sitting atop Mount Kilimanjaro, Africa's highest peak, are ancient glaciers that have endured for thousands of years, rising to about 5,895 meters above sea level. Kilimanjaro's icy cap is a surreal sight, a frozen crown in the heart of a tropical continent. Unfortunately, these glaciers are rapidly shrinking due to climate change, and scientists estimate they could vanish completely within a few decades. But for now, it's still a surreal sight, ancient ice shimmering under the African sun, high above the heat and dust below. Number 2. Most people think of islands as small, isolated spots in the ocean, but Madagascar breaks every rule in the book. It's the 4th largest island in the world, covering about 587,000 square kilometers, and it's been isolated from the African mainland for around 88 million years. That separation turned Madagascar into a world of its own, evolving ecosystems and creatures you won't find anywhere else. Over 90% of the wildlife there is endemic, meaning it exists only on the island. Animals such as the lemurs and an endless array of unique plants and animals thrive there. Madagascar isn't just an island. It's a living relic of a lost world, wild, untouched, and incredibly unique. At number 3, you probably know that Africa is home to tons of languages, but the actual number might blow your mind. Across the continent, there are over 2,000 distinct languages spoken, making Africa the most linguistically diverse region on the planet. In countries like Nigeria alone, you'll find more than 500 languages spoken by different ethnic groups. It's not just about different words either. Some of these languages have completely unique sounds, like the famous click consonants used in many southern African languages. Number 4. You might have already heard this in one of our recent videos, but this video wouldn't be complete without reference to the enormous size of the African continent. When you look at a typical world map, you might get the impression that North America, Europe, or even Greenland could rival Africa in size. But the truth is, Africa is absolutely massive. It's so big, you could fit the United States, China, India, and most of Europe inside it with room to spare. Africa spans about 30.37 million square kilometers, making it the 2nd largest continent on Earth. A big part of the confusion comes again from the Mercator projection, which distorts the way we perceive land sizes, especially closer to the poles. On a true-to-scale map, Africa dwarfs most other land masses, and once you see it properly represented, you'll never look at a world map the same way again. And number 5. Let's take a journey into one of the hottest places on planet Earth. The Horn of Africa, a dramatic peninsula where ancient geological forces have sculpted a land of extremes. Here, across parts of Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Djibouti, lies a formidable expanse known as the Danakil Desert. Imagine a vast, arid landscape under a relentless sun, where temperatures in this scorching region regularly soar well beyond 45 degrees Celsius. And within this already brutal desert environment lies a geological wonder unlike any other, the Danakil Depression, a bizarre, otherworldly landscape that looks more like another planet than part of our own. Temperatures here average around 35 degrees Celsius year-round, but they often spike well above 50 degrees Celsius during the day. Add to that bubbling lava lakes, neon-colored hot springs, and endless salt flats, and you've got one of the most extreme environments anywhere. Yet, incredibly, people have lived here for centuries. Resilient communities that have navigated this challenging terrain, a true testament to human adaptability. Number 6. When we think of pyramids, the iconic pyramids of Egypt often come to mind as a testament to the ingenuity and ambition of a remarkable civilization. And indeed, the monuments along the Nile stand as enduring wonders of the ancient world. But the story of African pyramids extends far beyond the sands of Egypt, revealing a continent rich with powerful kingdoms and unique architectural traditions. Venture south into the heart of Nubia, a historical region within modern-day Sudan, which has the most number of pyramids in the world. There are over 200 pyramids scattered across the desert sands, more than double the number found in Egypt. These Nubian pyramids are smaller and steeper, built by the ancient kingdom of Kush, which once rivaled Egypt in power and culture. Although they are not as internationally famous, standing among these forgotten structures feels like stepping into a lost chapter of history where kings and queens built their own towering monuments to eternity. At number 7. When you think of penguins, you probably picture Antarctica, but believe it or not, Africa has its very own penguins. The African penguin, sometimes called the jackass penguin because of its braying call, lives along the southwestern coast of the continent. You can find them waddling around the beaches of South Africa and Namibia, especially at places like Boulders Beach near Cape Town. These penguins are adapted to much warmer climates than their Antarctic cousins, and watching them sunbathe on sandy shores next to beachgoers is one of those strange and delightful sights that only Africa can offer. Number 8. It's easy to imagine ancient humans roaming the plains of Africa, and that's because they did. Africa is often called the cradle of humankind, and for a good reason. Some of the oldest human fossils ever found have been uncovered here, including famous discoveries like Lucy in Ethiopia, dating back over 3.2 million years. Sites like Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania have revealed stone tools and remains that tell the story of humanity's earliest days. The Cradle of Humankind is a paleoanthropological site that is located about 50 kilometers northwest of Johannesburg, South Africa, in the Gauteng province. The site is home to the largest known concentration of human ancestral remains anywhere in the world, and every single person alive today can trace their ancestry back to ancient humans who once walked the African landscape. Number 9. You've probably heard of the Great Rift Valley, but few people realize just how immense and important it really is. Stretching around 6,000 kilometers from Lebanon in the Middle East all the way down to Mozambique in southeastern Africa, the valley is a colossal scar in the Earth's crust. In East Africa, it's where you'll find massive lakes, towering volcanoes, and some of the most important archaeological sites ever discovered. It's also a place where you can literally watch the planet changing, because in the heart of East Africa, a seismic event is unfolding that could forever alter the continent's geographical landscape. This dramatic phenomenon is an ongoing process that has captured the attention of scientists and geologists worldwide as the Great Rift Valley stretches and tears at the Earth's crust, reshaping Africa's boundaries over millions of years. At number 10. The Sahara is a desert spanning across North Africa. With an area of 9,200,000 square kilometers, it is the largest hot desert in the world and the third largest desert overall, smaller only than the deserts of Antarctica and the Northern Arctic. When most people think of the Sahara Desert, they probably imagine endless waves of golden sand, but sand dunes actually make up only a small fraction of it. In reality, much of the Sahara is made up of rocky plateaus, gravel plains, and dry valleys. Some parts even feature rugged mountain ranges, like the Hoga Mountains in Algeria, the Tibesti Mountains in Chad, and the Air Mountains in Niger, towering islands of rock rising from an ocean of sand and stone. It's a landscape of extremes, sometimes breathtakingly beautiful, sometimes brutally harsh. So while movies love to show the Sahara as nothing but endless dunes, the real desert is far more varied and honestly even more fascinating when you dive into its full range of terrain. Number 11. Africa isn't just packed with mountains and deserts, it's also home to some truly gigantic waterfalls. One of the most breathtaking is Victoria Falls, a waterfall on the Zambezi River located on the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe. Locally known as the smoke that thunders, it lives up to its name with sheets of water crashing down from a height of over 108 meters across a width of nearly 1.7 kilometers, resulting in the world's largest sheet of falling water. In peak season, the mist from the falls can be seen from over 30 miles away. Surrounding the falls is a lush rainforest, kept alive by the constant spray of mist, an oasis teeming with unique plants, birds, and wildlife. It's one of the few places on Earth where a waterfall creates its own ecosystem. From thunderous drops to gentle rainbows cast in the mist, Victoria Falls is a living monument to nature's raw power and breathtaking beauty. At number 12, the African continent also hides some of the deepest places on Earth. Take Lake Tanganyika, for example. This ancient freshwater lake plunges to depths of about 1,470 meters, making it the deepest lake in Africa and the second deepest on the planet after Russia's Lake Baikal. It is so deep that it holds nearly 20% of the world's unfrozen freshwater supply. But Tanganyika isn't just deep, it's incredibly old too, estimated to be around 9 to 12 million years old. It's like a watery time capsule, holding secrets from eras long before humans ever showed up. The Congo River is also incredibly deep, as it plunges over 220 meters at its deepest point, making it the deepest river in the world. Number 13. Mount Kilimanjaro isn't just Africa's tallest mountain, it's also the tallest freestanding mountain in the world. That means it rises straight up from the surrounding plains rather than being part of a mountain range. Standing at 5,895 meters, it's a snow-capped giant right near the equator, which feels almost surreal. One day you're walking through a humid rainforest, and a few days later you're crunching across glaciers. Its dramatic rise from the flat grasslands to icy summit has made it a favorite for adventurers from all over the world, and even though it's climbable without technical gear, reaching the top is no small feat. At number 14. Hidden deep within the scorching sands of southwestern Libya, far from any city or paved road, lies one of the desert's most unexpected features, a scene so surreal it almost seems photoshopped, the Ibari Oasis. What you're seeing here is not a mirage. It's very real and has been for thousands of years. Here, brilliant blue lakes sit nestled between rolling golden dunes. These lakes, fed by ancient underground aquifers, are surrounded by swaying palm trees and ancient sands, and has been a lifeline for nomadic tribes, salt traders, and caravans for thousands of years. The water is still, the air silent, yet the sense of history is immense. Even today, the Ibari Oasis feels like a secret world frozen in time, another testament to the resilience of the African landscape. Number 15. Lake Victoria, straddling the borders of Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania, is Africa's largest lake by area, and it's absolutely massive. Covering 68,800 square kilometers, it's so vast that it feels more like an inland sea. It's also the largest tropical lake in the world, and the second largest freshwater lake by surface area, after Lake Superior in North America. Beyond its size, Lake Victoria is a lifeline, supporting millions of people through fishing, farming, and transport. Since the 1900s, Lake Victoria ferries have been an important means of transport between Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya. The lake also feeds the White Nile, one of the Nile's two major tributaries, making it a crucial piece of Africa's water puzzle. At number 16, if you thought the Amazon River held the crown for being the longest, you wouldn't be alone, but it's actually the Nile that stretches out the furthest, flowing from south to north through northeastern Africa. The river flows through 11 countries: Tanzania, Uganda, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Rwanda, Burundi, Ethiopia, Kenya, Eritrea, South Sudan, Sudan, and Egypt. Spanning about 6,650 kilometers, the Nile is like a liquid spine running through northeastern Africa. For millions of people across northeastern Africa, especially in Egypt and Sudan, the Nile is more than just water. The Nile River was critical to the development of ancient Egypt, The soil of the Nile River Delta between Cairo, Egypt, and the Mediterranean Sea is rich in nutrients due to the large silt deposits the Nile leaves behind as it flows into the sea. The banks of the Nile, all along its vast length, contain rich soil as well, thanks to annual flooding that deposits silt. Because of this, the Nile River has been at the heart of African life for thousands of years, and is still flowing strong today. And number 17. You've probably heard about the Amazon rainforest, but few realize there's a rainforest in Africa that is just as vital and just as awe-inspiring. The Congolian rainforest extends across the basin of the Congo River and its tributaries in Central Africa. Spanning 6 countries and covering 1.7 million square miles, it's the second largest tropical rainforest in the world. Teeming with life, the Congo is home to gorillas, elephants, bonobos, and thousands of plant species. Some parts of it are so dense and untouched that entire ecosystems have remained hidden from the outside world. The Congo River winds its way through this lush green maze, creating a web of life that's been thriving for millions of years. However, commercial logging, slash-and-burn farming, and expanding human settlements have made the Congo rainforest one of the most endangered ecosystems on Earth. Each year, thousands of hectares vanish, taking with them irreplaceable species and disrupting one of the planet's most vital climate systems. At number 18, Africa is also home to one of the most important wetland ecosystems on the planet, the Okavango Delta. Located in Botswana, this incredible inland delta floods seasonally, creating a lush oasis that bursts to life right in the middle of the Kalahari Desert. Every year, water from the Angolan highlands travels hundreds of miles to flood the delta, attracting elephants, lions, crocodiles, and countless species of birds. What's amazing is that the timing of the flood is opposite to the rainy season. It peaks during Botswana's dry months, creating a surreal green paradise when the rest of the region is bone dry. Number 19. The idea of Africa being completely disconnected from other continents might seem obvious today, but millions of years ago it was a different story. Africa was once part of a massive supercontinent called Pangaea. Over time, tectonic forces pulled it apart from South America and the rest of the land masses, setting it on a slow drift to where it sits today. You can actually still see the fit. If you line up the west coast of Africa with the east coast of South America, it's almost like matching 2 puzzle pieces. At number 20, the Sahara is already massive, but when you hear the word desert, you probably think of something ancient and unchanging. But the Sahara Desert is very much alive. It's currently expanding southward at a rate of about 48 kilometers every year, swallowing up parts of the Sahel, a transitional zone of semi-arid land. This phenomenon, known as desertification, is driven by a mix of climate change and human activity, like overgrazing and deforestation. Unfortunately, the Sahara's expansion could lead to some significant environmental and socio-economic issues. As the desert grows, it threatens the way of life for millions. With farming and grazing no longer sustainable, families are pushed towards cities where limited resources and infrastructure are already under pressure. Number 21. You've probably heard of the Great Lakes of North America, but have you heard about the African Great Lakes? The African Great Lakes are a chain of vast freshwater bodies stretching along the East African Rift, part of one of the most geologically active regions on Earth. These lakes aren't just large, they're monumental. Lake Victoria is the second largest freshwater lake in the world by surface area. Lake Tanganyika ranks second in volume and depth, holding ancient waters older than most civilizations. Lake Malawi is among the largest by area and is home to an extraordinary variety of fish. And then there's Lake Turkana, the world's largest permanent desert lake and the largest alkaline lake on the planet. Together, these lakes hold an estimated 31,000 cubic kilometers of water, more than Lake Baikal or even all of North America's Great Lakes combined. That's nearly 25% of the Earth's unfrozen surface freshwater in one region. At number 22, when it comes to fish diversity, no place on Earth beats Lake Malawi. Scientists have identified more than 700 species of fish in this single lake, many of which exist nowhere else on the planet. It's like a living laboratory of evolution. Most of these are colorful cichlids, known for their stunning patterns and incredible variety. To put it into perspective, Lake Malawi has more fish species than all the freshwater lakes and rivers of Europe and North America combined. Lying between Malawi, Tanzania, and Mozambique, it is the third largest lake in Africa and the ninth largest in the world by surface area. At number 23, as of 2025, there are 54 countries fully recognized by the United Nations in Africa. Additionally, there are 2 independent states with limited recognition, Western Sahara and Somaliland. In terms of land area, the largest countries in Africa are Algeria, which is the biggest, stretching across the north with vast deserts and mountains, the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is rich in rainforests and rivers and the largest in sub-Saharan Africa, and Sudan, covering a massive expanse in the northeast, mostly desert and savanna. At the other end of the scale, the smallest countries by area are the Seychelles, an island nation in the Indian Ocean, the smallest of all, São Tomé and Príncipe, which is a tiny island country off Central Africa's coast, and the Gambia, the smallest on mainland Africa, stretching narrowly along the Gambia River. But when it comes to population, the clear leader is Nigeria, Africa's most populous country with over 220 million people and still growing rapidly. In fact, Nigeria is projected to become the third most populous country in the world by 2050, behind only India and China. At number 24, deep below the Sahara Desert lies one of Africa's hidden treasures, the Nubian sandstone aquifer system. This massive underground water reservoir stretches across parts of Egypt, Libya, Sudan, and Chad and holds an estimated 150,000 cubic kilometers of groundwater. It holds the title of the world's largest fossil water aquifer system. In a region where surface water is incredibly scarce, this underground ocean is absolutely vital. It's like a secret lifeline beneath one of the harshest landscapes on Earth. And finally, tucked away in Senegal is a lake that looks like it belongs in a fantasy movie. Lake Retba, or Lac Rose, shines with a bubblegum pink hue that seems almost too vivid to be real. The secret? Salt-loving microorganisms that thrive in the lake's extremely salty water, producing a red pigment that gives the lake its signature color. Add in the sun's reflection, and the whole lake can glow bright pink, especially during the dry season. Not only is this lake beautiful, people also harvest salt straight from its waters, scraping up shimmering piles from the lakebed. And there you have it. What other facts about Africa did we miss? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on more mind-blowing geography facts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.